All right, I'm Dave Rat, and let's dive further into the rabbit hole of how low YouTube will go. So for this adventure, the first thing I did was create a bunch of high-resolution audio tracks ranging from 30 hertz all the way down to DC voltage plus and DC voltage minus. I compiled all those into a stream, upload, and then put them into Adobe Premiere, and we can see that here. Then I created a video where I talked about what I was going to do, and you should check that video out. Where I then I uploaded the video with the audio tracks to YouTube to see what it's going to do. And once the video was uploaded, I then downloaded the entire video, put the audio and video tracks back into Premiere, and let's go ahead and look at what I sent up versus what I got back and what's up there. And this is kind of exciting and surprising. So if you look here on my screen, and I'll show you, we can see I'll expand this out, and I'll put the marker here, and we will go and look at, okay, so here is the 30 cycle tone, and it is slowly going lower and lower in frequency until it gets to 1 hertz. And then I tied it into another sweep that starts at 1 hertz and goes all the way down to 0.1 hertz. And then at the upswing, I added it and clipped on a DC voltage at minus 6 dB. Left that on for 2 5-second intervals, 10 seconds. Then I grabbed part of a waveform, transitioned it down to a negative DC, left it at that for 10 seconds, and then tied that back into a series of tones at 1 hertz increment from 1 hertz all the way up to 6 hertz, and then 2 hertz increments all the way up to 30 hertz. You can see that there, 24, 26, 28, 30. And then I started a 30 cycle to 1 cycle sweep all the way back down. So that's what was sent up to YouTube. Now, I didn't have a lot of hopes. I was really curious as to what I got back. Now, doing a previous video, I saw that YouTube did go pretty low, but I didn't know it would go this low. So let's look at what came back. So let's go back to the beginning here, and I will zoom in a bit. And here we got, on the green track, we've got what I sent to YouTube before rendering and uploading. And those are that's my voice there, talking about the YouTube video. And here we've got, now I sent it up, this is a mono track, but when I uploaded it, I didn't check the mono box, so I left it in stereo. So it rendered into stereo and converted it to 2 tracks, as we see here. I can expand these up. I can bring this down a little bit. Let's see, I'll mess with this further just to make them a little more similar in size. And not perfect, but we can kind of see the green one is what I sent, and the blue one is what came back. And let's go ahead and scroll over, and we can see that it's looking pretty good. I mean, I see these little glitches here. I'm not sure if that's screen or something else, but let's go ahead and look further. And look, we're going all the way down. Now this transition here, you can see the edit on what I sent, and then this is what came back. Obviously, this is the separate files, and it was compiled into a single file. And this is the transition from 1 hertz to the sweep that goes from 1 hertz down to 0.1 hertz. And we'll follow that all the way down. And farther, farther, farther. Here's where we go into DC voltage. Now, we're actually seeing YouTube is not is I download the signal that I downloaded from YouTube actually is reproducing the DC voltage. I can try that. I can turn off the mute there. I can mute there, and I can hit play. Let's start this right here, and we can see what the level difference is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit play on the DC voltage. We'll see the meters on the right-hand side over here light up with the level. And then I'll turn that off and turn on the what I sent, and we can check the difference between the DC voltage. So there it is at minus 6 dB coming back. And when I look at what I sent, it's also minus 6 dB. I do see a little bit of noise. I see the line's a little thicker here. It drops down, it goes to negative. So there is some like hiss or something that's showing up on the return signal, whereas we've got a nice clean line on what was sent. So there is a little garbage showing up there. And then we can see that the signals are, that's right now we're looking at what I received, and this is what I sent. Minus 6 dB and minus 6 dB. Oops, where is it? There it is, minus 6 dB. So we're not getting any level change. What I sent is what I'm getting back. I'm going to go ahead and pause that, and we'll zoom in further and see if we see any noise on this sine wave signal anywhere. Just on the DC, we definitely see some noise in the DC and on this very low frequency. If we look at the waveform here, that's the DC. And we look at the waveform over here, I can see that there's a little bit of garbage here that isn't there. It's very slight, but it looks like there's some noise there. And then we'll scroll up. And that's my voice. And well, there you have it. And let's go ahead and look at that as a whole. There we go. There's what sent versus what came back. I can shrink this down slightly and make them about the same size. Wow. YouTube creates DC. You know what that means? That means myself and other people can upload low-frequency test tones and low-frequency test signals that go all the way down to DC. And YouTube will store them and spit them back to us. We can get subwoofer test signals to use stored up there. Kind of a cool, maybe we can build like a little library of cool audio test stuff that can come in handy for checking out different things. I'm going to expand on that. I'll put up some signals that are in polarity, out of polarity. I don't know. I'll think of something to do fun. Cool. Hope you like that. And who would have known that YouTube goes as low as you can go. All right, I'm Dave Rat, and I'll do another video soon.